The first step into business doesn't have to be complicated. You find a product people are already buying, you find a machine that makes it, and you start small. In this video, I'll show you 7 low-investment machines that can be used to start a small production business. These machines are not random ideas. They make products that are already in demand, products shops, companies, and customers are buying every day in many markets. To build this list, I checked real search data using a tool called Plangate, which tracks demand for physical products across different regions. These 7 machines kept showing up, low investment, steady demand, and already used in real operations around the world. Now, let's get into it. Machine 1, the heat press. This is one of the most common entry points into small production, and the reason it stays popular has nothing to do with how simple it is. It's because the product it makes is needed in almost every country in every city every single year. A heat press transfers printed designs onto fabric using controlled heat and pressure. T-shirts, hoodies, caps, uniforms, tote bags, workwear, sports clothing, all of it can come out of a simple setup. The important thing to understand here is the type of customer this business attracts. Most orders are not one piece. Schools order uniforms every year. Companies order branded clothing for staff. Sports teams need kits every season. Event organizers need printed shirts. Restaurants need staff uniforms. These are repeat orders from institutions, not one-time retail customers. Another reason this machine works well in many markets is import cost. In places where finished clothing is expensive to bring in from abroad, local printing becomes price competitive very quickly. That's why small printing workshops exist in almost every city, from major capitals to secondary towns. In terms of price, a solid basic heat press for small production sits between around $150 and $400. If you want a larger platen or a professional swing-away model built for higher volumes, expect to pay $500 to $800. Machine 2, the laser engraver. This machine works in a completely different way. It's not about fabric, it's about precision. A laser engraver uses a focused beam of light to cut or mark materials: wood, acrylic, leather, rubber, cork, certain metals. Everything is controlled from a design file on a computer. Once the design is set, the machine repeats the same result over and over with very high accuracy. That accuracy is what makes it commercially useful. You can produce signs, nameplates, gift items, trophies, decorative pieces, labels, branded merchandise, packaging stamps, and a wide range of other small products. What's interesting about the material side is that most of what this machine works on is cheap. Small wood blanks, acrylic sheets, leather offcuts, none of it is expensive. The value comes from the customization, not the raw material itself. And customization is one of the most consistent demand categories in the world right now. People want their names on products. Companies want their logos. Events need personalized items. Shops need engraved signs. Weddings, graduations, religious celebrations, these generate constant recurring demand for custom pieces. That's why laser engravers have moved out of factories and into small one-person workshops. Entry-level diode laser machines, which handle wood, leather, and acrylic very well, start at around $200 to $500. Mid-range enclosed models with more power and a larger working area run $800 to $1,200. For a serious production setup that handles metal engraving alongside other materials, you're looking at $1,500 and above. Machine 3, the vending machine. This one is different from everything else on this list because it doesn't manufacture a product, it sells one. A vending machine is an automated retail unit that operates without a shop, without staff, and without you present. You place it somewhere with foot traffic, stock it with products, and it handles every transaction on its own. That sounds straightforward, but the real business here is not the machine, it's the location. A vending machine placed beside a hospital waiting area, a university building, a factory entrance, or a busy transport station operates in a completely different environment from one sitting in a quiet street. That's why experienced operators spend more time researching placement than researching equipment. Vending has also expanded well beyond snacks and drinks. Right now, you'll find machines selling phone accessories, hygiene products, coffee, fresh juice, medicine, even small electronics. As cities get more crowded and people want faster, contact-free service, automated retail becomes more useful, not less. On price, this is where a lot of people get misled by what they see online. Yes, you can find old machines for a few $100s, but a vending machine that's actually reliable enough to generate consistent revenue as a business, a properly refurbished working unit starts at around $1,500 to $2,500. A new standard snack or drink machine runs $3,000 to $5,000. Specialty machines, fresh juice, smart touchscreen, refrigerated food go higher. Budget accordingly. Machine 4, the 3D printer. Many people know this machine. Very few people use it correctly for business. A 3D printer builds objects layer by layer from a digital file. The material is usually plastic filament or liquid resin, both widely available. The machine itself is no longer expensive or complicated. That's actually the problem. Because everyone can access one, the people who do well commercially are the ones who found a specific buyer with a specific recurring need. Small workshops use 3D printers to produce replacement parts for equipment that's been discontinued. Dental labs order models. Architects need scale buildings for presentations. Electronics shops need custom housings. Mechanics print clips and fittings that are impossible to source locally. These are not hobby customers. These are professional buyers who need the same thing regularly. That's the difference between owning a 3D printer and running a 3D printing service. Decent entry-level filament printers that are actually reliable for small production sit between $300 and $600. Higher detail resin printers and larger format machines run $500 to $900. The machine cost is not the barrier. Finding the right repeat customer is. Machine 5, the soap making machine. This one surprises people, but once you look at the demand side, it makes sense. Soap is something people buy every week, in every country, in every city. The market always exists. What a small producer has to figure out is where they fit inside that market, because competing with large industrial factories on price alone is not realistic at small scale. Where small producers do find their space is in natural soap, herbal soap, locally branded products, and products made without the synthetic chemicals that increasingly concern consumers in many markets. That positioning works especially well in countries where imported alternatives are expensive due to exchange rates or import duties. Small soap mixing and cutting machines that handle the core production steps start at around $300 to $600. More complete units with higher capacity and better automation run $800 to $2,500. The raw materials, base oils, caustic soda, fragrance, additives, are widely available in most markets, which keeps the input cost manageable at small scale. Machine 6, the small CNC router. This is the machine for people who want to produce solid, structural, physical products, not accessories or printed items. A CNC router cuts and shapes materials, wood, MDF, acrylic, foam, soft metals, following a precise computer-controlled path. The same digital file produces the same output every single time. That consistency is exactly why these machines are used in real production environments, even small ones. With a workshop-grade CNC router, you can produce furniture components, cabinet doors, wall panels, signage, product display stands, decorative boards, molds, and a wide range of items used in construction, interior design, shop fitting, and advertising. These are not hobby products. In most growing cities, interior renovation and construction are constant. New shops open, offices get redesigned, restaurants change their look, signs get replaced. Small CNC operators often don't sell to end consumers. They supply contractors, interior designers, and signage companies who need consistent, precise components delivered on time. On price, this is the machine where you need to be realistic. A cheap desktop CNC kit for hobbyists starts around $300, but it won't hold up in a production environment. A workshop-capable machine that actually runs production jobs day to day starts at around $1,500 to $2,500. A proper 4x8-foot production table used by serious small workshops runs $3,000 to $6,000. If this machine is going into a real business, buy for production, not for hobby. Machine 7, the nut butter grinding machine. And I want to start with something simple. Peanut butter, tahini, almond paste, sesame paste. These are not specialty products in most parts of the world. They are everyday food. Bought weekly, used in cooking, in breakfast, in street food, in restaurants. The demand is not seasonal. It is not a trend. It is a staple. That is what makes this machine different from most on this list. The machine itself is straightforward. You feed roasted nuts or seeds into the grinder, and it produces a smooth paste in one continuous process. Peanuts go in, peanut butter comes out. The same machine handles sesame for tahini, almonds for almond paste, and other nuts depending on what your local market needs. The raw material side is simple. Peanuts are one of the cheapest agricultural products in most African and Middle Eastern markets. Sesame seeds are widely grown and locally available across Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and large parts of Asia. You are not importing an expensive ingredient. In many cases, the raw material is grown nearby. What makes this commercially interesting is the gap between what people pay for imported or factory-produced nut butter versus what a fresh, locally made product can offer. In many markets, imported peanut butter carries high import duties. Local alternatives made from fresh ingredients have a quality and freshness advantage that packaged imports cannot match. Small restaurants, bakeries, juice bars, and food stalls are natural first customers. Schools, catering operations, and local grocery stores are the next step. On price, basic single-phase grinding machines for small production start at around $100 to $350. Mid-range commercial units with higher output and better motor capacity run $550 to $1,200. Before you buy any machine from this list, do something most beginners skip. Check the market before you check the price. Find real buyers, not YouTube comments, not online forums. Real shops, real workshops, real businesses. Ask them what they buy, how often they buy it, and where they get it from. If they currently buy large quantities from far away at high cost, that's a gap you can potentially fill. If the market is already full of local suppliers, the machine alone won't fix that. A heat press with no orders is just metal and wires. A laser engraver with no customers is just noise and smoke. Even a good machine becomes useless without the right market behind it. Market first, machine second, always. Subscribe to Business Dash if this is the kind of content you're looking for. We cover real machines, real production setups, and practical manufacturing ideas without the exaggeration and without the unrealistic promises. The Plangate link is in the description. That's what I use to track which product categories are getting more search attention in different markets before they get crowded. And write in the comments which machine is most relevant in your country. I read the comments, and your answers directly influence what I cover next. In the next video, we go deeper on one of these machines, how people actually set it up, who their first customers are, and what the real workflow looks like in a small operation. See you there.